Mike, did I tell you that my dad was critical of the ending of his song the first time he heard it? He called me. He's like, "Did they have to do the coughing thing?" And I'm like, "Dad, that's when it's funny." Yeah. It was it's so epic, and it's just him not getting the show.
It's not him not getting the show. It's him seriously wanting to have a hit song because he's great at singing. And
congrats, you do.
Thank you.
Well done.
On first listen, I thought it cheapened the song. I thought it was so gimmicky. Gimmicky.
It made the song, though.
Your dad, yes, your dad, delusionally, your dad wants to be, he said this for years, I want people to be confused about whether I'm bad for a good singer or good for a bad singer.
Right.
And this is the greatest thing he's ever made musically.
It ranks up there. It's in my top 5.
The Ode to 1440 was pretty good.
Yeah, the Ballad of 1440. It's the title of it.
My bad.
I would love to hear your top 5. Top 5 songs that you have sung.
He does not have 5 songs.
No, I got
Let
more
him try.
than
Let him try.
Sail Renta. Yeah.
That's not his song.
You go Renta.
It's his song.
In my personal record book, it is.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Stugotz.
He wanted you to do top 5 Greg Cote songs. Number 5.
Number 5 is God Bless Our Danica.
I can't even play that anymore.
Yeah, it's been canceled. Number 4.
Number 4 is my friend Alan Cherry's song Letting Go.
Nice.
Number 3 is...
That was a country song. I think he's going to name the only 5. The only
if
5.
I can get to 5. Number 3 is Back in My Day from The Big Game.
Oh, wow.
Excellent.
You're alleging
It's just hard. It's hard, Greg. I totally get it. They don't get
so
it.
many hits.
When- exactly.
Yeah.
When you have so many hits, when you're like a McCartney type, it's how do I just choose 5?
Right. Mm-hmm. You know what I want to do is put I don't know if you all have the wherewithal to make this happen. There's maybe enlist JT Daly, but I want to put out an EP. I want to put out like a 4 to 6 song EP that we would sell for a charity. A charity.
You
of
won't
my
do
choice.
Back in My Day every week.
The Greg Cote charity?
Well, the Miller Lite Foundation. No, we would do it for charity. Number 2 is the Ballad of 1440.
Okay. What is number 1 going to be?
And I think I misnumbered. I think those are the only 4.
So there's only a top 4. So
Yeah.
okay.
It is.
Right.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Greg.
No, I
Excellent.
think my new number 5 would be...
No, that's fine.
Okay,
It's
all right.
funny the
A
way
new
that it
number
was.
5, though.
It's
How is your friend Alan Cherry?
He passed away.
That's unfortunate.
And my dad, kind of stole the song as soon as he passed away.
I did not.
My dad recorded it on his own, and it's just kind of his song now.
First of all, I did not record it on my own. I recorded it in Alan Cherry's home studio in Plantation with him right there and with his blessing.
Wait
Good
a
old
minute.
days. Yeah.
I thought that he said that you recorded after he died, and you said you recorded it at Alan Cherry's house. Was Alan there? No. He recorded it with Alan Cherry while he was still with us, and then he passed away, and then I'm pretty sure my dad has recorded it again, and it's just kind of taken the song.
He wants to carry it on.
The old Taylor Swift.
Wrong with
yeah.
that.
Semantics.
Every time I sing or do anything else with that song, I always convey that it was written and originally performed by Alan Cherry of a garage band group called the Fibes, Fibes, and I re-recorded it, and I love my version, and that's why it ranks so high on my top 5 that was really a top 4.
Lest the audience say to itself, well, I don't know what they're talking about, and therefore maybe it is better than Greg Cote's hit song in the musical that shouldn't have the cough in it because it was so great as it was and operatic and artistic that there should be no humor. It should just be respected. But here is one of the songs. Mike has gone back into our library. Shockingly, ESPN did not want this. And we got this from them in our library, and he has found both of these songs.
I have found both of the songs. First up, Greg Cote's song that he stole from his friend Alan Cherry. His good friend.
Stole posthumously, stole after death.
No, I did not.
Really Dom Drapered this.
Who's going to sing it if Alan Cherry can't? You know?
Exactly. Thank you.
You got it.
Alan Cherry died.
He passed away, yeah.
And then I just want the audience to understand what happened here. Alan Cherry had a song. Alan Cherry died with the intellectual property to that song. And in his silence, Greg Cote, days later, recorded that song.
No. No, the chronology is wrong. Alan was a brilliant songwriter. He had another song called House of Ghosts, which is
A classic.
a beautiful song.
Yeah.
It's not a classic because nobody knows about me and Alan, but it was a great song nonetheless.
When did Alan leave us?
He passed away maybe 5, 7, 8 years ago.
Oh, man.
The way time flies, it could have been 10. But to make this clear,
Did you just ballpark his death? I mean,
I don't recall
yeah. Okay.
exactly when
All
it
right.
was.
Got it.
See, my dad does this thing. This is legitimately one of my dad's best friends ever, but the way he talks about things, it's just, it
I'm just
makes
learning
me
about
laugh
this.
when
It's
he
very
talks
sad.
about people dying.
No, it's sad.
Why?
Because you have this like tone, this dry tone of like, I know I'm saying something so ridiculously sad that it's funny.
Well, in this case, Alan Cherry and I recorded this song, the song that you're about to hear, perhaps, in his home studio. He was with me when I did it. I did it with his blessing.
This version.
Wow.
Did
Yeah.
you do another version after he passed?
No, I did not.
In honor.
Debatable.
No,
No, in
it's
honor
not
of him,
debatable.
maybe.
This is the version. We did 2
This is
takes.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Without further ado,
This is number
then,
3?
This is these 2 songs. Greg Cote is alleging that these sandwich what would otherwise perhaps rise to the level of being his best song, which is merely in the #1 musical that topped Encanto for a day, and might have been the best song of all, might have been the funniest song of all the songs on our big game musical.
It was comic relief.
Greg Cote isn't saying that this is quite better, but it's close to being better, and then we will play the next one that he is alleging is indeed better.
I found this interesting. I thought that you might too. There's good friends and good women. Sometimes both won't do. When you're as drunk as you can get, high as you can be, hang out at the 7-Eleven to be a Mr. Lucky. You never know. I've been smoking, I've been drinking to kill the misery.
You never know.
At the hands of one woman who's as evil as can be. She's got the diamond ring touch. She's talking like a baby. She's a whispering and a grin.
What are you doing, Greg? Why are you whispering your song instead of just lip syncing it? You're whispering it.
I'm lip syncing.
She's telling me.
Let it go, man.
You think, Mike, that we should put that for sale? We should ask our audience to see.
You should get royalties for us
For
playing
sale,
it.
yeah. You
there
owe
go.
Greg something. You just played his song.
Thank you.
I'm saying that people can buy the song. He says he wants to make 6 of these and put out some sort of album to see if he can become what genre? That felt a little country.
That was country. I want to re-record them. The Ballad of 1440 is particularly tinny because it was literally done in my garage. Christopher, how did we record that? Was that
Well,
on an
let's
iPhone?
play it. Let's play it because it was GarageBand, and you can criticize the sound engineers afterward.
Oh my God, this is bad.
This is better than the musical, according to Greg
The
Cote.
sound production is awful. The lyrics are good. IMHO.
Banjo?
Well, I said goodbye to 1440 this morning, to baseball cards and Tonka tanks on a Pebble Drive, to balsa wood planes and big box kites up in the sky. Oh, I never dreamed my life might fly as high. My daddy saved my clippings in a scrapbook. Now my name's at the top of the page and on the air. They're gonna try and act like I'm some kind of big shot, but they'll never make me something that I'm not. 'Cause I'm a West Hollywood boy, and my heart lies at old 1440.
Greg Cote is weeping.
Yeah.
He is weeping in
Me too,
studio
yeah.
at the sound of his own voice. He has taken a tissue out and he has wiped tears from his face because he is so moved singing about his old home, 1440. I remember where I was sitting at a table with Greg Cote as he told the moving story through tears of his original home, 1440, and wanting to write a book about it. And grizzled Minnesota Tribune columnist Tom Powers walked over and said right in his face, "That sounds duller than dog shit."
Yep, that's what he did. That book never got published.
I think
Alas.
you were
What would
deterred.
it be called? A Pebble Drive?
That'd be a good name for
I
it.
think,
Yeah.
I think you would have been deterred. I think you were deterred immediately. Put the turd and deterred when Tom Powers simply said to your face, "That book of yours sounds duller than
Yeah.
dog shit."
Should be
Who the hell
album
is
name.
Tom Powers?
We should rename your EP that. Duller Than Dog Shit.
Powers.
I have a feeling a couple
What
of
has he ever
publishers
done?
might have chimed in with Tom's appraisal of that.
Ryan Cortez, we will get to the Heat in a moment. Heat lifer Ryan Cortez has been shaken and shook by 4 of the last 5 games. I think you're officially afraid of the Celtics when you're relieved to see them lose last night to the Raptors.
Without Tatum and Brown.
And they had a big injury. Williams is out, so
He's good.
Yeah, Time Lord's
Yeah.
a huge part of their defense, which is so good. And I think that kind of nukes their chances unless he can get back to form in time for a playoff run. I don't see it.
We will get in a second to Heat and the basketball being played because they got rid of Duncan Robinson last night. They put in Max Strus, and that's where we are with lineup talk on Heat basketball as we wheeze toward the end of the season and a postseason that we're all looking forward to. But Ryan Cortez has sent us, our researcher, Donald Trump just released the most Donald Trump statement ever. And he reports that this is not ballsack sports. It's a real statement. Thank you, Ryan. Quote, "Many people are asking, so I'll give it to you now. It is 100% true," the message began, while playing with the legendary golfer Ernie Els, winner of 4 majors and approximately 72 other tournaments throughout the world. What a weird approximation.
I know. I was thinking.
Why not approximate 70? Or
75.
Right.
Yeah.
72 seems pretty pinpoint.
Gene Sowers, winner of the Senior U.S. Open, Ken Duke, and Mike Goods, both excellent tour player. I made a hole-in-one.
But the details after that he gives are amazing. It soared through the air. It's like,
Hold on, I'm going to keep going, please.
Artfully described.
Yes, no, this is just, look, I made a hole-in-one. And, of course, this would come with a press release, and it's just wonderful. It took place at Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach on the 7th hole, which was playing 181 yards into a slight wind. Trump wrote before quickly upgrading the wind he faced. "I hit a 5-iron, which sailed magnificently into a rather strong wind with approximately 5 feet of cut, whereupon it bounced twice and then went clank into the hole. These great tour players noticed it before I did because their eyes are slightly better, but on that one hole only, their swings weren't." Anyway, there's a lot of chatter about it, quite exciting, and people everywhere seem to be asking for the facts. Playing with that group of wonderful, talented players was a lot of fun. The match was Ernie and me with no strokes against Gene, Mike, and Ken. I won't tell you who won because I'm a very modest individual, but you will then say I was bragging, and I don't like people who brag.
That's real.
It's a real thing.
It's real, yeah.
wow.
It's perfect.
And it came from the office of Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
Not
course it
like
did.
not in some Twitter video. It was an official statement released on letterhead from the office of Donald J. Trump. All the details of his hole-in-one.
Els has 74 wins.
Okay, so approximately 72 then.
Yes.
I think he could have gone 75 and gotten away with it. I have to say, I haven't loved Trump this much in the past 6 years. And the reason is a 5-iron into the wind from 181.
That's big, yeah.
That's a monster.
With PGA Tour, PGA legends sitting there with you.
I'm telling you, man.
I'd honestly hit a 4 there. Into the wind from 180.
Yeah.
Mike would hit driver.
Yeah.
So would Uncle Dick Cody, who also got his hole-in-one reported, but his was just a driver at a par 3 that he launched, that he skidded into a hole, correct?
A hole-in-one is a hole-in-one, Dan.
Damn right.
Yeah.
I've never had one.
Mm-hmm.
The more I think about it, I'm calling bullshit. I don't think he could hit a 5-iron that far. Donald Trump, and like a guy in his, what is he, 60-something?
No,
he's
70-something.
Why would he
Late
lie?
70s.
181 into a wind, so it's really like 190. You're doubting whether or not he could hit a 5-iron 190, essentially.
I doubt it. Yeah.
Why would he lie, says Billy.
When we golfed the other day, as I was walking out, Stugotz was walking with me. We were at his like golf club, and they have this wall that just says "hole in one," where they put up, I'm assuming, your name and like the hole that you did it. And I just pointed at it, and I looked at Stugotz. I was like, one day maybe, and then kept walking.
Ain't happening.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't lied about something like that. Like just come into the clubhouse, be like, hey, I was by myself. I just holed out on 16.
I've thought about it.
Really?
That's the place where he decides to have honor, though. A golf course, a country club.
That kind of game,
That
man.
is the one thing he will respect. It's a gentleman's game, and so he insists on trying to fake his way into being a gentleman by never going in and telling what everyone will believe to be a lie, even if it's true. This is the one that Stugotz has to live with on that course whenever it does happen by himself. No one will believe him.
I'm going to need to be in a foursome with 3 of the most trustful people on the planet for anyone to believe me.
How long do you think it would take your club to notice, like, if you just printed on, like, because it's like just a little metal thing that they stick
Less
on
than
there.
10 minutes, Bill.
Really? Like, you can't
If I just put
go,
my own name up there?
No, but like you have it actually like engraved and you just place it there one day when no one's paying attention. Like, how long could that live there?
I'm not certain. I think you have to report it, you know? You have to tell, like, the head golf pro. Certain people have to sign the scorecard. They're like rules to this. It's weird.
Let me ask you guys this, and just as golfers, guys who love golfing, I want the honest answer to this question. Would you prefer to just never hit a hole-in-one, or to hit a hole-in-one but never be able to have it known? You cannot share it. It's not even that people won't believe you. You just make it and you can't tell anybody.
Why?
Because
Did you get murdered or something?
I'm just for the hypothetical, Billy.
I mean, what's the fun of getting a hole-in-one if you can't share it with anyone?
Yeah.
You
If
know?
But that's why I'm asking you guys, do you want to actually make the hole-in-one, or do you want to just send out the press release the way that Trump did?
I wouldn't want to do it by myself, even if people believed me. Doing it
Right.
by yourself, I feel like would be shitty. It'd be like, oh my God, I just actually did it, and now people might not believe. I wouldn't even want to do it if I was by myself.
That's what I'm asking you.
What?
I just think because the whole idea of it
It's
is
a waste of
it's
a
like
hole
a
in one.
communal. It's like
Right.
a communal thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Yes.
cheering. Like if I'm out there alone, it's just like, oh my God. Like I could now. This is just only me. I could have made this up. I could have made this up because nobody saw it.
No, you're exactly right. I've always imagined the moment where it happens and like you sprint to the hole. Yeah. And because you're so excited, and someone is like pulling up behind you, and they might catch you. But
Is
you're
it
still,
in? Is
you're,
it
you're,
in?
You're
Is
gonna
it in?
fish run.
Yeah.
You're gonna finish running anyway. Like it's this moment of ecstasy, and yeah, like, if you can't share with anybody, then what's the point?
Bunch of braggarts over here, huh?
Got to have a witness.
Yep. And you got to buy drinks. I mean,
Is the worst hell in golf that's successful, let's say this one, you're by yourself, you have a hole-in-one at a par 3, but your Uncle Dick Cody, and you think you've sent your driver skidding 50 yards beyond the hole, but then you walk up to the hole and the ball is in there, and now you're checking whether it's your ball or another ball because you're confused, and now it's just you alone with your doubt on what should be the top of success.
A bad good shot is always better than a shitty bad shot. Or I said that oppositely.
Say it again.
No, you got it.
A bad good shot is better than a good bad shot in golf.
Greg
know what that
Cote.
means.
Greg Cote has a top 5 golf shot of all time. It was the 10th hole, Parkland Golf and Country Club. It never left the ground. It was 150 yards out. It was a miss hit that rolled right into the hole, right in front of his son, and I think it was for birdie. I mean, I'm telling Dan, if no one was there to celebrate, the moment would not have been the same.
Yeah. Mike,
I mean,
what
we
is
hugged, we had a
happening?
drink.
Mike, why do you have a sour face right now?
No, I was just agreeing silently. That was an incredible shot. I was there for it.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
It broke Mike's heart.
Yeah.
I mean,
Stugotz, have you ever done this
But
thing?
my demeanor did change when we started normalizing an insurrectionist and laughing again.
Stugotz, have you ever done this move where you hit a good shot up onto the green and you're like, wow, I hit a good shot there, and you can't find the ball. So after about like 5 minutes of looking, you're like, I'll go check the hole. I mean,
right.
maybe, but it's
the
never
last
there.
place you want to check, right?
never there.
It's not,
Mike-
usually in the rough.
Mike, we lost you on Greg Cote saying, this is the best I've felt about Trump in 6 years. You left the room in
No, you
disgust.
lost me at I don't like to brag. End of statement.
I meant to say it's the only time in 6
Trump.
years that I've appreciated Trump, because if true, a 5-iron into the wind from 180
But we
is a
don't know
pretty
if it's
daring
true.
club
We
selection.
don't know if it's
Are
true.
you
Ernie
calling Ernie Els
Els
a
was there,
liar?
yeah.
I mean,
I think it was a 3-iron, and he just doesn't want to admit it.
I'm gritting my teeth right now, presently.
I mean, this is straight out of the office of the dictator of North Korea material
I
here.
know. Yeah. And I don't know why, but I am so disappointed in Ernie Els. I'm so disappointed in him.
I believe you will find, if you look for it, Vladimir Putin like skating past 9 people who were on a hockey rink.
Scoring 6 goals. Yeah, exactly.
Scoring a
Imagine
bunch
that.
of goals in a game where, do you believe, if Stugotz came back with a witness on a hole-in-one, this is why he said 3 most trustful people.
yes.
One, we'd think he bought him somehow, that he had contaminated or corrupted. He would need 3 witnesses. It's why Donald Trump...
You'd need to be one of them, I think.
Donald Trump was not bragging.
You, Frazier.
Tommy Frazier.
Max Oma.
Donald Trump, the first paragraph of this is so wonderful because you can't tell whether, is he name dropping all the credentials of these golfers because he wants us to know that he golfs with golfers? Or is it that he is headed to the punchline of, look at this amazing thing I did in front of everybody?
What he did was he name dropped to let you know he was playing with 3 big names in golf. One, a legend, before he sets up that he was the only one of the 4 to hit a hole-in-one. That's what he was doing. Yes.
Can you
I'm an expert in this.
Can you imagine? You golf a lot alone.
do.
You have never had a hole-in-one. Have you considered the idea that if you did have a hole-in-one, no one will believe you?
Yes, I have. Yep.
That would be a private little prison, wouldn't it? Of a
Yeah.
life made out of a lifetime of lies. The fact that you would have a hole-in-one but wouldn't be able to share it with
I'm
anybody.
pretty deep in prison already, Dan. I mean, so it's just one more lie, you know? It's just one more thing that people don't believe. It's okay. Like, you know.
Stugotz, if me and you went to a 150-yard par 3 right now, and we were just like, we're going to sit here and hit balls until we get a hole-in-one.
There's a good chance we go all day without doing it.
There is.
Weeks.
Hundreds of,
Weeks.
there needs to be more par 3s. That's why I haven't hit one. Let's start that. More
Okay.
par 3s.
Are you trying to undersell what a
There's a
hole-in-one
par 3 course.
as the best golfer among us, Chris? Are you saying that it's such a random act as to that if you were just going for a hole-in-one, you think you'd have more of a chance than just golfing your entire
I think
life?
if Stugotz and I both took 500 I'm trying to think of the math, how many shots we could get off in a day without killing ourselves. I feel maybe our 250 each. Like I feel like I don't know. I
It
feel
wasn't
like
for Roy.
if I hit 250, if I get 250 attempts at 100, I feel like I'm gonna hit 20 of them, like where I'm like that could go in. I don't know. I could get. It's really random.
So Chris from 150, I would say like seven or 8 times out of 10 is going to put it within 10 feet of the cup. He's that good of a golfer. But Chris, you could sit there for a month, right, and shoot from 150 all day, every day,
Or
and
an
still
hour.
and still
You
not
never
get all
know.
in one, right? Or it could be one shot. Yes.
I saw this the other day. I think it was during a Portland game where somebody on a basketball court was putting. This was just a putt. The length of the court into a very small hole for $50,000. The length of the court. And the person in that game putted and made it. And as soon as it happened, I'm like, that should be worth so much more than $50,000, what that person just did. Like that, it is so ridiculous that if I had $50,000, I would put it there and have people try for the rest of time and like my chances of no one making that putt the length of a basketball court.
You do have $50,000.
Okay, so maybe
Just to be clear,
maybe
yeah.
I should do that. Maybe I should
doesn't
do
have to
that
be
with
hypothetical.
Stugotz one day. Just allow him to putt the length of a court and see if it ever goes in. and where there could be better feelings than that. What does that seem the price for that should be?
$1 million, especially on hardwood. I mean,
That's tough, yeah.
That's like glass.
Yeah.
That's crazy putting on hardwood. But there's a saying on the PGA Tour regarding hole-in-ones.
How do you know a saying on the PGA?
Because
it is, yeah.
Because over the years, I've heard more than one golfer say it. It's that if you hit a shot within 6 inches of the hole, it's a great shot. If you hit a hole-in-one, it's a lucky shot. That's what the golfers say.
Bit wordy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I didn't make up the bromide. I just repeated it.
You know, they used to do that golf thing on the Marlins like rubber warning track. I think like at an angle, and it was sponsored by Mikasuki.
I bet it was.
Yeah.
What is
Everything was.
What is it? Yeah, just because that was the only sponsor Marlins baseball could get.
That's right.
I want to talk about the Heat here in a second, but I also want to know what's going on with Billy because he's happier than I've seen him in a while, and he's happy post-pandemic in a way that makes him a little extra chaotic. And you walked in today, Billy, and this was the exchange you had with La Esquina de Chumeria, where Lewis was walking through, and you said, Billy, I honked at you this morning, and he said, yes, you scared the shit out of me. And then all I heard echoing through the hallways was your maniacal laughter because you had scared Lewis this morning coming into the building. And I'm just wondering, like, what's happened here post-pandemic that you're actively trying to create just disturbances and disorientations all over here?
What is that supposed to mean? Disturbances and disorientation. I was driving up, I saw him walking down, and I honked at him.
Was it like a double tap hello honk?
No.
Like doot doot?
No, I held it down for a really long
Jesus.
time.
I heard that honk.
You leaned on it.
I heard it.
A honk in a garage like echoes through eternity.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't hear it here in the studio.
Just wanted to make sure he heard it,
You
you know?
saw Lewis. You saw that he was walking in a little groggy. The poor man's got 3 kids and is up every night till midnight cutting video. And you decided Good Morning was going to put your elbow on your horn.
Yeah, just make sure he heard it. Make sure he saw me. Just, then give a wave. I mean, it's not my fault he's editing until 12 o'clock at night.
So, Dan, what we figured out here in La Quina is that Billy is, and I'm going to say what he is, then it's going to make everybody be like, wait, what? And then you're going to get it. Okay. Billy is an evil cat.
Yes.
Okay, so Billy.
We actually all get it.
Yes.
So mean.
Like, he wants to hang out with you, so he'll like get close to you, but then he'll claw the back of your neck, and you're like, what was that for?
No.
And you're like, because he loves you.
No.
Right? So that's why he loves
He
Lewis.
purrs,
So
he'll come up to you and be nice,
Right.
and then all of a sudden he'll scratch your face.
No.
Evil cat.
I disagree.
No, I agree.
No.
Yeah.
I think I'm like one of those little doggies that they show like
You're not
on
a dog.
Instagram. That
You're
they
not a
cut.
dog.
They cut and they're like, I'm so a dog.
Oh, you're very catty.
No, I'm
You're
a dog.
cat.
No, I'm a
You're
dog.
an evil
No, you're a
cat.
cat.
No, I'm a dog.
You like watching me run into the glass door from the couch.
Yeah.
You're sitting there. You actually closed the door when I was trying to bring in the burgers from the barbecue. All of a sudden, I run into it. You laugh. You run away.
We've never been in that situation.
It's the cat thing. You know.
Billy, would you allow me this, that you are someone who appears to all like a dog, but then you unzip it and inside is an evil cat?
No, I'm a dog person.
Yeah,
I'm
agree.
a dog. You guys just don't get it. Mm-hmm.
Frisky puppy.
Yeah, thank you. Greg gets me. Greg's the only one that gets me. I had this moment today. This is unrelated to what we were talking about. I had this moment today because they were talking about how like it's wedding season and they were like going back and forth. Like, do we like weddings? Do we not like weddings? Oh, how exciting. I have this many weddings, that many weddings, 3 weddings in 2 weeks, whatever, right? And then I looked at Lewis. I'm like, weddings, too much. Too much. It's a lot. A lot of
Dog
weddings.
guy over here.
Yeah.
Weddings too much.
Weddings are too much. Whitty has said that he's jealous of the fact that people go to all these weddings. And I'm like, until you start going to the weddings and then you realize this is a lot.
A dog
This
would
is
love a
lot.
wedding, though. A cat would not. A cat would not like a wedding.
No, dogs secretly don't like weddings. Every dog that they tie
Dogs
ring.
love weddings.
No, every dog. Okay, listen to me. Every dog that they tie rings to pees on something. Every single one of them. So they're there secretly walking down the thing. Oh, here's
they're
the
so
ring.
excited.
Boom, I pee on
Can't
the
control
bride's
their
dress.
bladder.
Boom, I pee on the cake. Dogs don't like weddings.
Billy's jinxie from Meet the Fockers.
Not at all. No. Not at all. And I also said, you know what? Because they were talking about how much they love weddings. I go, you know what? I'm fine not being a groomsman because I've accepted I'm just never going to be a groomsman. I mean, I was once, but I'm fine not being a groomsman. I'm never going to be a best man. I'm never going to be a godfather. Perfectly okay with those things.
I don't think that in the history of the show, and I don't know how this should go, certainly Greg Cote is a stubborn human being, and 50 people could be telling him something, and he would say it is not so. 50 of the people who know him.
That's the highest of compliments.
It is. I took it as such.
Evil old cat.
People who know and love him, 50 of them, could be telling him something is so, and he would be like, nope, I'm a unique person.
Yeah.
I've never seen our entire room line up and stare at Billy and say, you are this thing.
Yeah.
And you're saying, nope.
Well,
this
there's like a
feels
cultish nature to this whole environment. So, like, you guys don't understand. What? That's fine.
We'll never get it.
You don't get it.
Regardless.
Stugotz will agree with you guys here, and then he'll call me later. He's like, you're right, buddy. Trust me, you were right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a puppy.
I love
you.
We all agree with
right.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
We're familiar with
Yes,
Stugotz.
that's
I love you,
Well,
Bill.
you're an evil cat. He's just a snake.
I love Billy too. This isn't us not loving you. It's just you're an evil cat.
I love you like an evil cat.
Yeah. That is.
You're right about that.
But I like an evil cat
man
because
makes a point.
it's an honest cat.
You know,
Billy, if you're acting like an evil cat towards somebody, I think that's a sign of respect, that you love them, no?
How?
No.
I don't know.
Solid spin though.
Thank you.
Oh, says Roy Bird to me.
I think my dad's an owl.
what are you laughing at, Billy?
I don't know if you heard it, but I heard
Roy Bird to me.
Roy birded me, because Roy got a birdie the other day.
Damn right he did. It was great. I was so proud.
You had a birdie, too.
Yeah, I did.
Number
Okay,
two.
we're
That's
gonna
de
be.
rigueur.
We cannot descend. Into,
I hugged him afterwards.
I mean, he made a putt. He made a birdie.
cannot-
That's a little,
Off of my T-shirt.
All right, that's what I'm saying.
It was a birdie. It was a birdie
Congrats
putt.
on the bird.
Roy Bird to me.
This is how we become the Defo Show.
Deef.
I wish.
Talking in the local hour.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Exactly. That man is living his life.
Can we go to Gulfstream?
Ooh, is he happy?
We got to be at a car dealer to be Defo.
For trivia.
Talking about golf.
Oh, that trivia challenge.
I
Sunday
love
morning.
that trivia
Oh, it
challenge.
was so good. Hungover Devo.
I loved it.
Look at that new Escalade, huh?
The Miami Heat. 4 games.
Be weird at JM Lexus, but okay.
Certified pre-owned, you know?
Must be a used car or something.
Jimmy Dunn.
Screaming at my car radio. Terry Mulholland! It's Terry Mulholland!
So many inside jokes.
Is that 1990s? You're shouting at.
It's Kevin Ape here. I know it.
You're
Chief, it's Kevin Ape here.
You're shouting at your steering wheel. Mark Mulder.
Yep. Yatil Green.
Yatil
It's
Green.
Yatil.
And what happened? The callers would get it wrong.
Then I'd have to give the screener my age, and I was nuked. Apparently, they don't like to give Cadillac Escalades to 13-year-olds.
Oh my God! You just reminded me. This is so funny. This would be my first time calling Sonny Hirsch's show.
Oh, God.
And this is my first appearance anywhere in media. I had to be 12, 13 years old, maybe 11. And just getting on a call and shouting, Dan Marino's overrated, and hanging up.
Nice call.
Rack 'em.
Little drive-by.
So how old would I have been? Wait a minute. I wouldn't have been 12. I would have been in my late teens.
Oh, wow.
I was 34 years old.
Where would you rate Dan Marino? Just
You know
out
what
of
it was? I
curiosity?
got the story. It was Don Shula's overrated is what I
Oh,
called
boy.
in. That's what it was.
Oh,
It was Don
wow.
Shula's
Shules.
overrated.
And fighting words. Wow. How dare you?
Mike, who were the co-hosts of that show? Do you remember Defo's Trivia Challenge? The 2 co-hosts?
Who was the other co-host?
Man.
It's
killing me.
I was racking my brain to find out the name of the co-host because I knew that it would make you laugh.
You know one of them?
I know that Defo would host, and the guy that ran JM Lexus would be a part of the show.
Jim Dunn.
Yeah, Jim Dunn.
Jimmy Dunn.
Yeah,
I said Jim
Yes,
Dunn.
he gave you Jim Dunn. Jim Dunn was the punchline on the joke. You don't remember Jim Dunn? Ed Kaplan did not do a trivia show, right? He did not. All he was doing.
Hell no.
All he was
late
doing.
night.
I remember this felt like the dark web. All he was doing is like, bet the dogs in baseball.
Yeah.
And every night he would just count up his, if I bet $100 on the dog, I won this much. And he'd just, every day he'd win $90 and plug along across 3 or 4 years, just beating the system, betting the dogs.
He was honestly the first person to introduce me to European club soccer. Because it's like we like Sevilla and the UEFA Cup.
He was so ahead of his time, though.
He really was.
Yeah.
He was.
Yep.
Well, he was a gambler.
Yes.
And he was speaking in the shadows about anywhere you could get action.
At 1 a.m.
At 1 a.m., watching just late games, and with the first access, you didn't even understand listening to it necessarily. How is he getting all these results? Because it's pre-internet.
Well, for me, I was like 12 years old, like because I was so interested in sports that I flipped on AM radio, and it reminded me of the first time that I watched David Letterman, and I was confused at the entire format. Like, why is there a giant microphone on his desk? Why is he looking at this guest? Who is this person? Like, I would listen to it completely confused as to what was going on. It was my introduction into horse betting. Like, I had no idea. Like, it was all of these different gambling elements, and I was completely confused. I was like, I just want to know what's going on with the Marlins.
Is there a way for our show, in the modern evolution of whatever this stupid form is, to figure out how to make these parlays more ours, to create a bit of an event around these parlays, as opposed to the way we've done it the first 8 or 9 times, where someone's just farting out 2 teams on the money line and no one's doing anything with it?
We did the hater parlay. We did
Yeah.
an all Canes
I asked
parlay.
my sister.
Billy asked his sister, don't try to set yourself up for actually caring about these promos.
Well, but I'd rather care about the embarrassment, is what I'm saying. If any one of us is picking the games and losing, I feel like it's funnier to be able to laugh at us. It's not about.
So you want to shame us?
I don't think.
I had a
all of
feeling when
us-
we started doing these promos, Dan would get irrationally upset that they wouldn't perform well. I had a feeling that this day would come. They're doing well. They
Why-
are.
why
And
do you have
would
me-
they go
why
out
do you
I've
there?
had
have me-
great feedback about this. They're really happy with how this is going.
Why do you have me irrationally what?
Embarrassed by the fact that we're not hitting 3-team parlays.
It's better if we don't hit the 3-team parlays.
that
but,
we are killing the game, Dano.
Yep.
but I want someone to get assigned that blame and that shame so that we can make fun of them. If I pick, if to turn the gambling into content, if you make me pick 4 games and I lose by 40 points or I go 0-4, it creates the same content that we get when Stugotz starts a college football season 0-16.
Well, we'll draw up some more pomp and circumstance around it, but we basically did do that. I picked the first parlay. There's a Hurricanes parlay that was just within the show. The hater parlay was within the show, and I'm still mad at Billy's sister.
For the St. Peter's Miami money line parlay.
I mean, it got boosted, so I was excited about it.
Yeah. It's all about the boost, Dan.
The Miami Heat, Stugotz, gave you 4 of their worst games of the season. The fourth quarter against the Knicks is as bad as they can play basketball. They had like 90 points through 3 quarters, and then they get 15 points at the end. And the Knicks, who are totally toast, come in and have it felt like the Knicks celebrated on the court like it felt better than anything the Knicks have done this season, because this has been a season of disappointment. It's hard sometimes to even just get through one of these seasons to the 4 or the 5 seed. Look at what happened to the Knicks in Atlanta this year and be impressed by where Miami has gotten with a whole lot of disparate parts during a difficult time.
I know we want to talk Heat here. I will say this about the Knicks. They've won 4 straight, and the one thing that needed to happen has happened, because free agents won't go there. But R.J. Barrett is a guy that wants to be there. His dad played for the Knicks. He's from that area, wants to play his entire career there. He's really good.
We fast-forwarded some on this because these guys come out as freshmen now, and we don't give their bodies time to mature into whatever Karl Anthony Towns is now that he wasn't when he got to a league of men. But, yeah. He's played season. He was good. And you can all see now why he was picked as high as he was and why he was on a team with Zion Williamson. He was considered a better talent. But still, Stugotz, as he improves, and with a star or a rising star, the Knicks can't get back to where they were last season.
No.
Atlanta, with Trae Young having a great season, can't get back to where it was last season. And everything just got a lot more competitive because, Stugotz, some of these young teams like Memphis are here. Memphis is, they just beat, without John Morant, they dragged Giannis and Middleton, and now they're 18-2 in their last 20 games, and Stan Van Gundy is saying, I've never seen anything like this. Never, where you can be without John Morant and you're still clubbing everybody.
18-2, you said you're in their last 20. 18-2 without John Morant this year. That's what they are. That did come out correctly. But 18-2 without John Morant, which is crazy because we all know they're better with John Morant.
And that team is excellent and not as good as Phoenix. Phoenix, I don't know. This weekend, and this is going to be frustrating to people, as you have Daryl Morey and Ty Lue arguing about how Philadelphia plays basketball, where Ty Lue is saying James Harden and Embiid wouldn't be top 10 scoring without the free throws, and then Daryl Morey is saying back to him, your team would be 30th in offense without the free throws. But the Sixers went into Phoenix, and it's just bothersome watching them. It's just Embiid getting fouled, Harden getting fouled, Embiid getting fouled, Harden getting fouled, and Phoenix wins anyway. The Miami Heat enter in the East. Like, the top has gotten better. LeBron's not good enough anymore. You can't make the playoffs. The top has gotten better, and the East, what Boston is doing, has been, if you're wanting, before this season starts, after seeing Bam Adebayo block Jason Tatum at the rim, and the trajectory of those two teams changed a little bit after that, the Miami Heat, and I told you before the season, would you rather be right now the Celtics or the Heat, having seen everything you saw?
Talking about the fourth place Celtics right now?
Yes, because they lost last night. Yes, the
Curious.
top,
Curious.
the top of the East.
They're tied for second, technically.
Fourth on my standings. Losing the tiebreaker. Barely have home court first round. Real brain buster you gave me, Dano.
Would you rather be playing the way Boston is now or the way Miami is?
Well, I think the injury to Robert Williams is a game changer.
It's big.
Yeah, it's massive. I don't think Jimmy Butler's going to start making half of his threes. I don't think that's sustainable. But Miami just had its first dip in form basically all season. They won a bunch of games that on the surface you'd look like, how'd they win that? And it caught up to them a little bit. The Knicks game in particular really, really sticks out. But I think all teams go through this at some point in the season. And it's probably a good thing that it happened before the playoffs so they can shake it out and refocus.
I don't know what you guys are talking about with form. 1-0, last one.
Yep.
And it's also a season where it may be more advantageous to finish third than first, right?
I mean, I maintain that you just got to try to win. Because I think Brooklyn's coming out of that play-in tournament as the 7th seed. I think all these teams
So you might get the Hawks.
have been pretty close all season long, and I do think something like home court could be the difference.
Just on Robert Williams real quick, it is a big injury, Dan. He's shooting 73% from the field, and I think he's the best defensive player in basketball.
He's up
With some of the measurements, yes.
When people are talking and not knowing whether it's Gobert or Bam or Williams, they've been the number one defense in the league because of him, and he's part of Brad Stevens doing a better job with cleanup and value than Danny Ainge was doing, because that signaled that guy's signing signaled whatever it is that Brad Stevens thought that team could be, and Jason Tatum could grow into, Stugotz, as he's a young player. And you have to, just because they're coming in earlier, used to be high school guys didn't get to play in that league, period. They just didn't. It was Moses Malone and nobody else was big or strong enough. Man's league. You're not big enough in high school. And then Garnett comes and some of these things change. And now you got a bunch of guys on the bench who are doing what would be their sophomore, their junior, or their Tim Duncan year of college, their Danny Manning year of college. So you're getting those. Karl Anthony Towns is a different player right now than he was 3 years ago because he spent his college years in the pros.
It's a great point. Patrick Ewing was at Georgetown, I think, for 3 or 4 years. Michael Jordan was at North Carolina for 3 years. Elijah won 3 years at Houston.
They're men by the time they get to that league, but still, even in Zion Williamson's body, Stugotz, if you're a freshman coming out of college, imagine, go look around, look at a campus right now and look at what freshmen look like. It's ridiculous. And so these guys get to the league, and you got to give them 3 years, It doesn't get to be like Trey Young all the time where you're like, oh, yeah, what just happened there?
I gave up on R.J. Barrett a year ago.
Yeah, Daryl Morey told us. Daryl Morey told us before the lockdown and everything that 3 years is when you pretty much know what a player is. I'd be curious to know what that answer is now, because I don't even think he accounted for how much the NBA has proved in their development. The G League was not something that existed when guys were staying in college till their senior year, and it's really improved. Look at Gary Payton's son. I mean, he burst on the scene this year in the early parts of the season, and he's damn near 30.
We've seen that down here with Tyler Hero. He just looks different physically than he did when we first saw him.
Tom Haberstroh had a stat yesterday that blew my mind on a related note. Greg Monroe is younger than Hassan Whiteside.
That's impossible. Nope. I don't care what Tom says.
And Austin Hooper is younger than both of them.
Again with Austin Hooper.